The Scena Mundi Theatre Company presents Volpone by Ben Jonson as part of the Plays to Listen To series, starring Rupert Bates, Fraser Wilson, Martin Prest, Jack Christie, David J. Keogh, Faye Morn, Isaac Deaton, Claire Bryce and Anna Buckland, with Graham Pountney as Volpone and Pip Brignall as Mosca. Sound and music by Will Bridges, The Swing Fox composed by Jean-Philippe Martinez, and Volpone was directed by Cecilia Dorley.
Good morning to the day. And next, my gold. Mosca, open the shrine that I may see my saint. Ah! Hail the world's soul and mine. More glad than is the teeming earth to see the longed-for sun peep through the horns of the celestial ram, am I to view thy splendour darkening his, that lying here amongst my other hordes, show'st like a flame by night, or like the day, struck out of chaos, when all darkness fled unto the centre. O thou son of Sol, but brighter than thy father, let me kiss with adoration thee and every relic of sacred treasure in this blessed room. Well did wise poets by thy glorious name title that age which they would have the best, thou being the best of things, and far transcending all style of joy in children, parents, friends, or any other waking dream on earth. Thy looks, when they to Venus did ascribe, they should have given her 20,000 cupids. Such are thy beauties and our loves. Dear saint, riches, the dumb god that givest all men tongues, that canst do naught, but yet makes men do all things. The price of souls, even hell with thee to boot, is made worth heaven. Thou art virtue, fame, honour, and all things else. Who can get thee, he shall be noble, valiant, honest, wise.
And what he will, sir. Riches are in fortune a greater good than wisdom is in nature.
True, my beloved Mosca, yet I glory more in the cunning purchase of my wealth than in the glad possession, since I gain no common way. I use no trade, no venture, I wound no earth with ploughshares, fat no beast to feed the shambles, have no mills for iron, oil, corn, or men to grind them into powder. I blow no subtle glass, expose no ships to threatenings of the furrow-faced sea. I turn no moneys in the public bank, nor usury private.
No, sir, your sweet nature doth abhor these courses. You loathe the widows or the orphans' tears should wash your pavements, or their piteous cries ring in your roofs and beat the air for vengeance.
Right, Mosca. I do loathe it.
And besides, sir, you will not lie in straw whilst moths and worms feed on your sumptuous hangings and soft beds. You know the use of riches, and dare give now from that bright heap to me, your poor observer, or to your dwarf, or your hermaphrodite, your eunuch, or what other household trifle your pleasure allows maintenance.
Hold thee, Mosca, take of my hand. Thou strikest on truth in all, and they are envious, term thee parasite. What should I do? But cocker up my genius, and live free to all delights my fortune calls me to. I have no wife, no parent, child, ally to give my substance to, but whom I make must be my heir, and this makes men observe me. This draws new clients daily to my house, women and men of every sex and age, that bring me presents send me plate, coin, jewels, with hope that when I die, which they expect each greedy minute, it shall then return tenfold upon them, whilst some, covetous above all the rest, seek to engross me whole, and counterwork the one unto the other, contend in gifts as they would seem in love, all which I suffer, playing with their hopes, and am content to coin them into profit, to look upon their kindness and take more, and look on that, still bearing them in hand, letting the cherry knock against their lips, and draw it by their mouths, and back again.
'Tis Signor Voltore, the advocate. I know him by his knock.
Mosca, fetch me my gown, my furs and nightcaps. Say that my couch is changing, and let him entertain himself a while without, in the gallery. Now, my clients, bring their visitation. Vulture, kite, raven, and gorcrow, all my birds of prey, that think me turning carcass. Now they come. I'm not for them yet. How now? What news?
Piece of plate, sir.
Ooh, of what bigness?
Huge, messy and antique, with your name inscribed and arms engraved.
Good. And not a fox, stretched on the earth with fine delusive slates, mocking a gaping crow? Ha ha! Mosca!
Sharp, sir.
Give me my furs. Why dost thou laugh so, man?
I cannot choose, sir, when I apprehend what thoughts he has without now as he walks, that this might be the last gift he should give, that this would fetch you if you died today and gave him all what he should be tomorrow. How he should worshipped be and reverenced, ride with his furs and footcloths, waited on by herds of fools, and clients have clear way made for his mule as lettered as himself, because the great and learned advocate, and then all concludes, there's naught impossible.
Yes, to be learned, Mosca.
Oh no, rich implies it. Put an ass with reverend purple, so you can hide his too ambitious ears, and he shall pass for a cathedral doctor.
My caps, good Mosca. Fetch him in.
Stay, sir, your ointment for your eye.
Oh, that's true. Dispatch! I long to have possession of my new present.
That and thousands more I hope to see you lord of.
Thanks, good Mosca.
And that when I am lost in blended dust, and hundreds such as I am in succession,
Nay, that were too much, Mosca.
you shall live still to delude these harpies.
Loving Mosca. 'Tis well. My pillow now, and let him enter. Now, my feigned cough, my physic, and my gout, my apoplexy, palsy, and catarrhs, help with your forced functions this my posture, wherein this 3 year I've milked their hopes. He comes, I hear him.
Ah, what you were, sir. Only you of all the rest are he commands his love, and you do wisely to preserve it thus, with early visitation and kind notes of your good meaning to him, which I know cannot but come most grateful. Patron, sir, his Signor Voltore is come.
What say you?
Sir Signor Voltore is come this morning to visit you,
Thank him.
and hath brought a piece of antique plate brought of St. Mark, with which he here presents you.
He's welcome. Pray him, come more often.
Yes,
What says he?
he thanks you, and desires you see him often.
Mosca,
My patron,
bring him near. Where is he? I long to feel his hand.
The plate is here, sir.
How fare you, sir?
Thank you, Signor Voltore. Where's the plate? Mine eyes are bad.
I'm sorry to see you still thus weak.
That he's not weaker.
You're too munificent.
Oh, no, sir. Would to heaven I could as well give health to you as that plate.
You give sir, what you can. I thank you. Your love hath taste in this, and shall not be unanswered. I pray you, see me more often.
Yes, I shall, sir.
Be not far from me.
Do you observe that, sir?
Hearken unto me still. It will concern you.
You are a happy man, sir. Know your good.
I cannot now last long.
You are his heir, sir.
Am I?
I feel me going. I'm falling to my port. I'm glad I'm so near my haven.
Alas, kind gentlemen. Well, we must all go.
But Mosca,
Age will conquer.
but pray thee hear me. Am I inscribed his heir for certain?
Are you? I do beseech you, sir, you will vouchsafe to write me in your family. All my hopes depend upon your worship. I am lost, except the rising sun do shine on me.
It shall both shine and warm thee, Mosca.
Sir, I am a man that hath not done your love all the worst offices. Here I wear your keys, see all your coffers and your caskets locked, keep the poor inventory of your jewels, your plate and monies, am your steward, sir, husband your goods here.
But am I sole heir?
Without a partner, sir, confirmed this morning. The wax is warm yet, and the ink scarce dry upon the parchment.
Oh, happy, happy me! By what good chance, sweet Mosca?
Your desert, sir. I know no second cause.
Oh, thy modesty is not to know it. Well, we shall requite it.
He ever liked your course, sir, that first took him. I oft have heard him say how he admired men of your large profession that could speak to every cause and things mere contraries till they were horse again, yet all be law. And for his part, he thought he should be blessed to have his heir of such a suffering spirit, so wise, so grave, of so perplexed a tongue, and loud withal, that would not wag nor scarce lie still without a fee, when every word your worship but lets fall is a check we. Who's that? One not, I would not have you seen, sir, when you do come to swim in golden lard, up to the arms in honey, that your chin is borne up stiff with fatness of the flood. Think on your vassal, but remember me. I have not been your worst of clients.
Mosca!
Away, begone, put business in your face.
Excellent, Mosca! Come hither, let me kiss thee.
Still, sir, here is Corbaccio.
Oh, I did set the plate away. The vulture's gone, the old raven's come.
Betake you to your silence and your sleep. Stand there and multiply. Now we shall see a wretch who is indeed more impotent than this can feign to be, yet hopes to hop over his grave. Signor Corbaccio! You're very welcome, sir.
How does your patron?
Troth, as he did, sir, no amends.
What? Ends he?
No, sir, he's rather worse.
That's well. Where is he?
Upon his couch, sir, newly fallen asleep.
Does he sleep well?
No wink, sir, all this night, nor yesterday, but slumbers.
Good. He should take some counsel of physicians. I have brought him an opiate here from mine own doctor.
He will not hear of drugs.
Why, I myself stood by while it was made, saw all the ingredients, and know it cannot but most gently work. My life for his, 'tis but to make him sleep.
Aye, his last sleep, if he would take it.
Sir, he has no faith in physic.
You, say you?
He has no faith in physic! He does not think most of your doctors are the greater danger and worse disease to escape. I often have heard him protest that your physician should never be his heir.
Not I, his heir?
Not your physician, sir.
No, I do not mean it.
No, sir, nor their fees he cannot brook. He says they flay a man before they kill him.
Right. I do conceive you.
And then they do it by experiment, for which the law not only doth absolve them, but gives them great reward, and he is loath to hire his death so.
It is true, they kill with as much license as a judge.
Nay, more. For he but kills, sir, where the law condemns, and these can kill him too.
Aye, or me, or any man. How does his apoplexy? Is that strong on him still?
Most violent. His speech is broken, and his eyes are set, his face drawn longer than 'twas wont.
How? Stronger than he was wont?
No, sir, his face drawn longer than 'twas wont.
Oh, good.
His mouth is ever gaping, and his eyelids hang.
Good.
A freezing numbness stiffens all his joints and makes the colour of his flesh like lead.
'Tis good.
Pulse beats slow and dull.
I conceive you. Good symptoms still.
And from his brain
Conceive you. Good.
flows a cold sweat with a continual rheum forth the resolved corners of his eyes.
It's possible, yet I am better. Excellent, excellent. Sure, I shall outlast him. This makes me young again, a score of years.
I was a-coming for you, sir.
Has he made his will? What has he given me?
No, sir.
Nothing?
He has not made his will, sir.
What did Voltore, the lawyer, here?
He smelt a carcass, sir, when he but heard my master was about his testament, as I did urge him to it for your good.
He came unto him, did he? I thought so.
Yes, and presented him this piece of plate.
To be his heir?
I do not know, sir.
Well, I shall prevent him yet. See, Mosca, look, here I have brought a bag of bright... will quite weigh down his plate.
Yea, marry, sir, this is true physic, this your sacred medicine. No talk of opiates to this great elixir.
'Tis aurum palpabile, if not potabile.
It shall be ministered to him in his bowl.
Do.
Most blessed cordial. This will recover him.
Yes, do.
I think it were not best, sir, to recover him. Why, sir, this will work some strange effect if he but feel it. Yet I will not give it you again at no hand. Pardon me, you shall not do yourself that wrong, sir. I will so advise you, you shall have it all.
All?
All, sir, 'tis your right, your own. No man can claim a part. 'Tis yours without a rival, decreed by destiny.
How now, good Mosca?
I'll tell you, sir. This fit he shall recover.
I do conceive you.
And on first advantage of his gained sense will I re-importune him unto the making of his testament, and show him this.
Good.
'Tis better yet if you will hear, sir.
Yes, with all my heart.
Now, would I counsel you make home with speed? There, frame a will, whereto you shall inscribe my master, your sole heir.
And disinherit my son?
Oh, sir, the better, for that colour shall make it much more taking.
Oh, but colour?
This will, sir, you shall send it unto me. Now, when I come to enforce, as I will do, your cares, your watchings, and your many prayers, your more than many gifts, your this day's present, and last produce your will, where without thought or least regard unto your proper issue, a son so brave and highly meriting, the stream of your diverted love hath thrown you upon my master and made him your heir. We cannot be so stupid or stone dead, but out of conscience and mere gratitude.
Just pronounce me his.
'Tis true.
This plot did I think on before.
I do believe it.
Do you not believe it?
Yes, sir.
Mine own project.
Which when he hath done, sir,
Published me his heir.
and you so certain to survive him, sir, being so lusty a man.
True.
Yes, sir.
I thought on that too. See how he should be the very organ to express my thoughts.
You have not only done yourself a good,
Multiplied it on my son.
'tis right, sir.
Still, my invention.
Less, sir, heaven knows it hath been all my study, all my care. I e'en grow grey withal how to work things.
I do conceive, sweet Mosca.
You are he for whom I labour here.
I do. I'll go straight about it.
Rook go with you, Raven.
I know thee honest,
You do lie, sir.
and
Your knowledge is no better than your ears, sir.
I may have my youth restored to me. Why not?
Hey, your worship is a precious ass!
Sayest thou?
And I do desire your worship to make haste, sir.
'Tis done, I go.
I shall burst! Let out my sides! Let out my sides!
Contain your flux of laughter, sir. You know this hope is such a bait it covers any hook.
But thy working and thy placing it, I cannot hold. Good rascal, let me kiss thee. I never knew thee in so rare a humour.
Alas, sir, I do but as I am taught. Follow your grave instructions, give them words, pour oil into their ears and send them hence.
'Tis true, 'tis true. What a rare punishment is avarice to itself.
Aye, with our help, sir.
So many cares, so many maladies, so many fears attending on old age. Yea, death so often called on, as no wish could be more frequent with them. Their limbs faint, their senses dull, their seeing, hearing, going, all dead before them. Yea, their very teeth, their instruments of eating failing them. Yet this is reckoned life. Nay, here was one, is now gone home, that wishes to live longer, feels not his gout nor palsy, feigns himself younger by scores of years, flatters his age with confident belying it, hopes he may, with charms like Æson, have his youth restored, and with these thoughts, so battens as if fate would be as easily cheated on as he, and all turns heir. Oh, who's that there now? A third?
Close to your couch again, I hear his voice. It is Corvino, our spruce merchant.
Dead.
Another bout, sir, with your eyes.
Who's
there? Signor Corvino, come most wished for. Oh, how happy were you if you knew it now.
Why? What? Wherein?
The tardy hour is come, sir.
He is not dead.
Not dead, sir, but as good. He knows no man.
Oh, how shall I do then?
Why, sir?
I have brought him here a pearl.
Perhaps he has so much remembrance left as to know you, sir. He still calls on you. Nothing but your name is in his mouth. Is your pearl orient, sir?
Venice was never owner of the like.
Signor Corvino.
Hark!
Signor Corvino.
Calls you. Step and give it him. He's here, sir, and he has brought you a rich pearl.
How do you, sir? Tell him it doubles the 12th carat.
Sir, he cannot understand, his hearing's gone, and yet it comforts him to see you.
Say I have a diamond for him too.
Best show it, sir. Put it into his hand. 'Tis only there he apprehends. He has his feeling yet. See how he grasps it.
Good gentleman, how pitiful the sight is.
But forget, sir, the weeping of an heir should still be laughter under a visor.
Why, am I his heir?
Sir, I am sworn I may not show the will till he be dead, but here has been Corbaccio, here has been Voltore, here were others too, I cannot number 'em, they were so many, all gaping here for legacies, but I, taking vantage of his naming you, Signor Corvino, took paper and pen and ink, and there I asked him whom he would have his heir. Corvino, who should be executor? Corvino, and to any question he was silent to, I still interpreted the nods he made through weakness for consent, and sent home the others, nothing bequeathed them but to cry and curse.
Oh, my dear Mosca! Does he not perceive us?
No more than a blind harper. He knows no man, no face or friend, nor name of any servant can he remember.
Has he children?
Bastards, some dozen or more that he begot on beggars, gypsies and Jews and blackamoors when he was drunk, but he has given them nothing.
That's well, that's well. Art sure he does not hear us?
Sure, sir. Why, look you, credit your own sense. The pox approach and add to your diseases. You may come near, sir. Would you once close those filthy eyes of yours that flow with slime, like two frog pits, and those same hanging cheeks covered with hide instead of skin? Nay, help, sir.
His nose is like a common sewer, still running.
Is good. And what is mouth?
A very draught.
Oh, stop it up.
Oh, by no means.
Pray let me. Faith, I could stifle him, rarely with a pillow.
Do as you will, but I'll be gone.
Be so. It is your presence makes him last so long.
I pray you, use no violence.
No, sir. Why? Why should you be thus scrupulous, pray you, sir?
Nay, at your discretion.
Well, good sir, be gone.
I will not trouble him now to take my pearl.
Ha! No, your diamond! What a needless care as this afflicts you! Is not all here yours? Am not I here, whom you have made your creature, that owe my being to you?
Oh, grateful Mosca, thou art my friend, my fellow, my companion, my partner, and thou shalt share in all my fortunes.
Excepting one.
What's that?
Your gallant wife, sir. Now he's gone, we had no other means to shoot him hence but this.
My divine Mosca, thou hast today outgone thyself. Who's there? Ah, I'll be troubled with no more. Prepare me music, dances, banquets, all delights. The Turk is not more sensual in his pleasures than will Volpone. Let me see. A pearl, a diamond, plate, checking. Oh, good morning's purchase. Why, this is better than rob churches yet. Or fat by eating once a month a man. Who is it?
The beauteous lady Would-be, sir. Wife to the English knight, Sir Politic Would-be. This style, sir, is directed me. Hath sent to know how you have slept tonight, and if you would be visited.
Not now. Some 3 hours hence.
I told the squire so much.
Oh. When I'm high with mirth and wine, then. For heaven, I wonder at the desperate valour of the bold English that they dare let loose their wives to all encounters.
Sir, this knight had not his name for nothing. He is politic, and knows, howe'er his wife affect strange airs, she hath not yet the face to be dishonest. Had she Signor Corvino's wife's face.
Oh. Has she so rare a face?
Oh, sir, the wonder, the blazing star of Italy, a wench of the first year, a beauty ripe as harvest, whose skin is whiter than a swan all over, than silver snow or lilies, a soft lip would tempt you to eternity of kissing, and flesh that melteth in the touch to blood, bright as your gold, and lovely as your gold.
Why had I not known this before?
Alas, sir, myself but yesterday discovered it.
How might I see her?
Oh, not possible. She's kept as warily as is your gold, never does come abroad, never takes air, but at a window all her looks are sweet as the first grapes or cherries, and are watched as near as they are.
I must see her.
Sir, there is a guard of spies 10 thick upon her.
I will go see her, though but at her window.
In some disguise, then.
That is true. I must maintain my nose shape, still the same. We'll think.
To a wise man, all the world's his soil. Why, it is not Italy, nor France, nor Europe that must bound me if my fates call me forth. Yet I protest, it is no salt desire of seeing country shifting a religion, nor any disaffection to the state where I was bred, unto which I owe my dearest plots, have brought me out, much less that idle, antique, stale, grey-headed project of knowing men's minds and manners with Ulysses, but a peculiar humour of my wife's, laid for this height of Venice, to observe, to quote, to learn the language, and so forth. I hope you travel, sir, with licence.
Yes.
I dare the safely converse. How long, sir, since you left England?
7 weeks.
So lately? You have not been with my Lord Ambassador?
Not yet, sir.
Pray you, what news survents our climate? I heard last night a most strange thing reported by some of my lord's followers, and I long to hear how 'twill be seconded.
What was't, sir?
Marry, sir, of a raven that should build in a ship royal of the king's.
This fellow, does he gull me trow, or is gulled? Your name, sir?
My name is Politic Would-be.
Oh, that speaks him. A knight, sir?
A poor knight, sir.
Your lady lies here in Venice for intelligence of tires and fashions and behaviour among the courtesans? The fine lady Would-be?
Yes, sir. The spider and the bee oft times suck from one flower.
Good Sir Politic, I cry you mercy. I have heard much of you. 'Tis true, sir, of your raven.
On your knowledge.
Yes, and your lion's whelping in the tower.
Another whelp.
Another, sir.
Now, heaven! Oh, what prodigies be these? And the new star, all these things concurring, strange and full of omen. Saw you those meteors?
I did, sir.
Fearful. I am astonished.
Nay, sir, be not so. I'll tell you a greater prodigy than these.
What should these things portend?
The very day, let me be sure, that I put forth from London, there was a whale discovered in the river, as high as Woolwich, that had waited there, if you know how many months.
Is't possible? Oh, worthy sir, some other news.
Faith, Stone the fool is dead, and they do lack a tavern fool extremely.
Is Stone dead?
He's dead, sir. Why, I hope you thought him not immortal. Oh, this knight, were he well known, would be a precious thing to fill our English stage. He that should write but such a fellow should be thought to feign extremely, if not maliciously.
Stone dead.
Dead, Lord. How deeply, sir, you apprehended? He was no kinsman to you?
That I know of. Well, that same fellow was an unknown fool.
And yet you knew him, it seems.
I did, sir. I knew him, one of the most dangerous heads living within the state, and so I held him.
Indeed, sir?
While he lived in action, he has received weekly intelligence upon my knowledge out of the Low Countries, for all parts of the world, in cabbages. And those dispensed again to ambassadors in oranges, muskmelons, apricots.
You make me wonder, sir. I have heard he could not read, sir.
So 'twas given out in policy by those that did employ him. But he could read and had your languages, and to it sound as a noddle.
I have heard, sir, that your baboons were spies, and that they were a kind of subtle nation near to China?
Aye, your Mamaluki. Faith, they had their hand in a French plot or two, but they were so extremely given to women as they made discovery of all.
Hard. This Sir Paul will be ignorant of nothing. It seems, sir, you know all.
Not all, sir, but I have some general notions. I do love to note and to observe and know the ebbs and flows of state.
Believe it, sir, I hold myself in no small tie unto my fortunes for casting me thus luckily upon you, whose knowledge, if your bounty equal it, may do me great assistance in instruction for my behaviour and my bearing, which is yet so rude and raw.
Why, came you forth empty of rules for travel?
Faith, I had some common ones from out that vulgar grammar which he that cried Italian to me taught me. Ooh. Who be these two gentlemen, sir, looking to erect a stage on the piazza?
Sir, fellows to mount a bank. Did your instructor in the dear tongues never discourse to you of the Italian mountebanks?
Yes, sir.
Why, here you shall see one.
No, they are quacksalvers, fellows that live by venting oils and drugs.
Was that the character he gave you of them?
As I remember.
Pity his ignorance. They are the only knowing men of Europe. Great general scholars, excellent physicians, the only languaged men of all the world.
And I have heard they are most lewd impostors, made all of terms and shreds, no less beliers of great men's favours and their own vile medicines, which they will utter upon monstrous oaths, selling that drug for 2p ere they part, which they have valued at 12 crowns before.
Sir, calumnies are answered best with silence. Yourself shall judge. Who is it mounts, my friends?
Scotto of Mantua, sir.
Is't he? Nay then, I'll proudly promise, sir, you shall behold another man than has been fancied to you. Here he comes. Mark but his gesture. Oh, I do use to observe the state he keeps in getting up.
'Tis worth it, sir.
Most noble gentlemen, and my worthy patrons, it may seem strange that I, your Scotto of Mantuano, who was ever wont to fix my bank in face of the public piazza, should now, after 8 months' absence from this illustrious city of Venice, humbly retire myself into an obscure nook of the piazza.
Did not now I object the same?
Peace, sir.
Let me tell you, I am not content to part with my commodities at a cheaper rate than I am accustomed. Look not for it. And gentlemen, honorable gentlemen, you know that for this time our bank shall be the scene of pleasure and delight, for I have nothing to sell. Little or nothing to sell.
I told you, sir, his end.
You did so.
Ah, gentlemen, if I had but the time to discourse to you the miraculous effects of this my oil, surnamed Olio del Scotto.
You that would last long, list to my song. No more coil, but buy of this oil. Would you be ever fair and young, stout of teeth and strong of tongue? Would you live free from all diseases, do the act your mistress pleases, yet all aches from your bones? Is the medicine for the nonce?
Well, I am in a humor at this time to make a present of the small quantity that my coffer contains. You shall not give me 6 crowns, nor 5, nor 4, nor 3, not 2, nor 1, not half a ducat. No, 6 pence it will cost you, or £600. Expect no lower price. Therefore, now, please to toss your handkerchiefs cheerily, cheerily, and be advertised that the first heroic spirit that deigns to grace me with a handkerchief, I will give it a little remembrance of something.
Will you be that heroic spark, Sir Paul? Oh, see, the window has prevented you. This lady has thrown down her handkerchief.
I have it! Oh, grazie, grazie, mille grazie, lady. I kiss your bounty.
Oh, blood of the devil and my shame! Come down here! Come down! No house but mine to make your scene, no windows in the whole piazza here to make your properties but mine. But mine?
Ow!
What should this mean, Sir Paul?
Some trick of state, believe it. I will home.
It may be some design on you.
Do I know not? I'll stand upon my guard.
It is your best, sir.
This 3 weeks, all my advices, all my letters, they have been intercepted.
Indeed, sir. Best have a care.
Nay, so I will.
This night, I may not lose him for my mirth till night.
Oh, I am wounded.
Where, sir?
Oh, not without. Those blows were nothing, I could bear them ever, but angry Cupid, bolting from her eyes, hath shot himself into me like a flame. The fight is all within me. I cannot live, except thou help me, Mosca.
Use but your patience.
Oh, so I have.
I doubt not to bring success to your desires.
Nay, then, I not repent me of my late disguise.
If you can horn him, sir, you need not.
True. Besides, I never meant him for my heir. It's not the colour of my beard and eyebrows to make me known.
No jot?
I did it well.
So well would I could follow you in mine with half the happiness. And yet I would escape your epilogue.
But were they gulled with a belief that I was Scotto?
Sir, Scotto himself could hardly have distinguished. I have not time to flatter you, now we'll part. And as I prosper, so applaud my art.
Arrivederci.
Oh, death of mine honour, with the city's fool, a juggling, tooth-drawing, prating mountebank, and at a public window, where, whilst he to his drug lecture draws your itching ears, a crew of old, unmarried, noted lechers stood leering up like satyrs, and you smile most graciously and fan your favours forth to give your hot spectators satisfaction. Were you enamoured on his copper rings, his saffron jewel with the toadstone in't, or his starched beard? Well, you shall have him, yes. He shall come home, or let me see. I think you'd rather mount. Would you not mount? Well, if you'll mount, you may. Yes, truly you may. Get you a sitter, Lady Vanity, and be a dealer with the virtuous man. Make one. But I'll protest myself a cuckold and save your dowry, you whore. Thou'st tremble to imagine that the murder of father, mother, brother, all thy race should follow as subject of my justice.
Alas, sir, be appeased. I could not think my being at the window should more now move your impatience than at other times.
No, not to seek and entertain a parley with a known knave before a multitude. You were an actor with your handkerchief, which he most sweetly kissed in the receipt, and might, no doubt, return it with a letter, and point the place where you might meet. Your sisters, your mothers, or your aunts might serve the turn.
Why, dear sir, when do I make these excuses, or ever stir abroad but to the church? And that so seldom.
Well, it shall be less, and thy restraint before was liberty, to what I now decree, and therefore mark me. First, I will have this bawdy light damned up, and now think on it, I will keep thee backwards. Thy lodgings shall be backwards, thy walks backwards, thy prospects all be backwards, and no pleasure that thou shalt know but backwards. Nay, since you force my honest nature, no, it is your own being too open makes me use you thus. One knocks. Away and be not seen, pain of thy life, nor look towards the window. Who's there?
It's Signor Mosca, sir.
Mosca! Oh, come in. Oh, his master's dead. Oh, there's some good to help the bad. My Mosca, welcome. I guess your news.
I fear you cannot, sir.
It's not his death,
Rather the contrary.
not his recovery.
Yes, sir.
I'm cursed. I am bewitched. My crosses meet to vex me. How?
Why, sir, with Scotto's oil. Corbaccio and Voltore brought of it whilst I was busy in an inner room.
Death! That damned mountebank! But for the law now, I could kill the rascal. It cannot be. All his ingredients are a sheep's gall, a roasted bitch's marrow, some few sod earwigs, pounded caterpillars, a little capon's grease, and fasting spittle. I know them to a dram.
I know not, sir, but some aren't there. They poured into his ears, some in his nostrils, and recovered him. And since this seemed more officious and flattering of his health, there they have had, at extreme fees, the College of Physicians consulting on him, how they might restore him. At last, they all resolved that, to preserve him was no other means but some young woman must be straight sought out, lusty and full of juice, to sleep by him. And to this service, most unhappily and most unwillingly am I now employed, which here I thought to pre-acquaint you with, for your advice, since it concerns you most, because I would not do that thing might cross your ends on whom I have my whole dependence, sir. I do but tell you, sir, Besides, they are all now striving who shall first present him. Therefore, I could entreat you, briefly conclude somewhat, prevent them if you can.
Death to my hopes! This is my villainous fortune. Best hire some common courtesan.
I thought on that, sir, but they are all so subtle, full of art and age, again doting and flexible, so as, I cannot tell, we may, perchance, light on a queen may cheat us all.
'Tis true.
No. It must be one that has no tricks, sir. Some simple thing, a creature made unto it. Some wench you may command. Have you no kinswoman? God, so think, sir. One of the doctors offered there his daughter.
How?
Yes, Signor Lupo, the physician.
His daughter?
And a virgin, sir. Why, alas, he knows the state of his body and what it is. A long forgetfulness hath seized that part. Besides, sir, who shall know it? Some one or two?
Oh, pray thee, give me leave. Oh, if any man but I had had this luck. The thing in itself, I know, is nothing. And wherefore should not I as well command my blood and my affections as this dull doctor? And in the point of honour, the cases are all one of wife and daughter.
I hear him coming.
She shall do it. 'Tis done, covetous wretch. Mosca, I have determined.
How, sir?
We'll make all sure the party you wot of shall be mine own wife, Mosca.
Sir, the thing but that I would not seem to counsel you, I should have mentioned to you at the first, and make your count, you have cut all their throats. Why, 'tis directly taking a possession, and in his next fit we may let him go. 'Tis but to pull the pillow from his head, and he is throttled. It had been done before, but for your scrupulous doubts.
I plague on it. My conscience fools my wit. Well, I'll be brief, and so be thou, lest they should be before us. Go home, prepare him, tell him with what zeal and willingness I'd do it. Swear it was on the first hearing, as thou mayest do, truly, mine own free motion.
Sir, I warrant you, I'll so possess him with it that the rest of his starved clients shall be banished all.
But do not you forget to send now.
Fear not.
Why, where are you, wife? My Celia, wife! Oh, what? Blubbering? No. Come, dry those tears. I think thou thought'st me in earnest. By this light I talked so but to try thee. Methinks the likeness of the occasion should have confirmed thee. Come, I am not jealous.
No.
Faith, I'm not I, nor never was, and it is a poor unprofitable humour. Do not I know, if women have a will, they'll do against all the watches of the world, and that the fiercest spies are tamed with gold? Come, kiss me. Go, make thee ready straight. In all thy best attire, thy choicest jewels, put them all on, and with them thy best looks. We are invited to a solemn feast at old Volpone's, where it shall appear how far I am free from jealousy or fear.
I fear I shall begin to grow in love with my dear self, and my most prosperous parts. They do so spring and burgeon. I can feel a whimsy in my blood, I know not how. Success hath made me wanton. I could skip out of my skin now like a subtle snake. I am so limber. Oh, your parasite is a most precious thing, dropped from above, not bred mongst clods and clodpoles here on earth. I muse the mystery was not made a science, it is so liberally professed. Almost all the wise world is little else in nature but parasites or sub-parasites, and yet I mean not those that have your bare town art, to know who's fit to feed them, have no house, no family, no care, and therefore mould tales for men's ears to bait that sense, or get kitchen invention and some stale receipts to please the belly and the groin, nor those with their court dog tricks that can fawn and fleer, make their revenue out of legs and faces, echo my lord, and lick away a moth. But you're fine, elegant rascal, that can rise and stoop almost together like an arrow, shoot through the air as nimbly as a star, turn short as doth a swallow, and be here and there and here and yonder, all at once, present to any humour, all occasion, and change a visor swifter than a thought. This is the creature had the art born with him, toils not to learn it, but doth practice it out of most excellent nature, and such sparks are the true parasites. Others but their zanies. Who's this? Benario, old Corbaccio's son, the person I was bound to seek. Fair sir, you are happily met.
That cannot be done by thee.
Why, sir?
Nay, pray thee, know thy way, and leave me. I would be loath to interchange discourse with such a mate as thou art.
Courteous sir, scorn not my poverty.
Ah, not I, by heaven. But thou shalt give me leave to hate thy baseness.
Baseness?
Aye, answer me. Is not thy sloth sufficient argument? Thy flattery? Thy means of feeding?
Heaven be good to me. These imputations are too common, sir, and easily stuck on virtue when she's poor. You are unequal to me, and however your sentence may be righteous, yet you are not that, ere you know me, thus proceed in censure. St. Mark bear witness against you, 'tis inhuman.
What? Does he weep? The sign is soft and good. I do repent me that I was so harsh.
'Tis true that, swayed by strong necessity, I am enforced to eat my careful bread with too much obsequy. 'Tis true, beside, that I am fain to spin mine own poor raiment out of my mere observance, being not born to a free fortune, but that I have done base offices in rending friends asunder, dividing families, betraying counsels, whispering false lies, or mining men with praises, trained their credulity with perjuries, corrupted chastity, or am in love with mine own tender ease. Let me perish here in all hope of goodness.
This cannot be a personated passion. I was to blame, so to mistake thy nature. Pray thee, forgive me, and speak out thy business.
Sir, it concerns you. And though I may seem at first to make a main offence in manners and in my gratitude unto my master, yet for the pure love which I bear all right and hatred of the wrong, I must reveal it. This very hour, your father is in purpose to disinherit you.
How?
And thrust you forth a mere stranger to his blood. 'Tis true, sir.
This tale hath lost thee much of the late trust thou hadst with me. It is impossible. I know not how to lend it any thought my father should be so unnatural.
It is a confidence that well becomes your piety, and formed, no doubt. But, sir, I now will tell you more. This very minute it is or will be doing, and if you shall be but pleased to go with me, I'll bring you, I dare not say where you shall see, but where your ear shall be a witness of the deed. Hear yourself, a written bastard.
I am amazed.
Sir, if I do not draw your just sword and score your vengeance on my front and face, mark me your villain, you have too much wrong, and I do suffer for you, sir. My heart weeps blood in anguish.
Lead, I follow thee.
Mosca stays long, methinks.
Hello?
Who's there? My couch. No. Oh, Cupid, send it be Mosca, and with fair return.
It is the beauteous madam. Hey!
Would be? Is it?
The same.
Now torment on me. Nay, quickly. Would be that my fit were past. I fear a second hell, too, that my loathing this will quite expel my appetite to the other. Would she were taking now her tedious leave. Lord, how it frets me what I am to suffer.
This band shows not my neck enough. Look, see this petulant thing, how she has done this.
I do feel the fever entering in at mine ears. Oh, for a charm to fright it hence.
Come nearer. Is this curl in his right place or this? Why is this higher than all the rest? You have not washed your eyes yet, or do they not stand even in your head? I pray you view this tire forsooth. Are all things apt or no?
One hair a little here sticks out, forsooth.
Does it so, forsooth? And where was your dear sight when it did so, forsooth? What now, bird-eyed? Now, by that light, I muse you are not ashamed. I, that have preached these things so often to you, called you to counsel of so frequent dressings, made you acquainted what an ample dowry the knowledge of these things would be unto you, able, alone, to get you noble husbands at your return, and you thus to neglect it? Besides you seeing what a curious nation the Italians are, what will they say of me? The English, a lady cannot dress herself. Here's a fine imputation to our country. Well, go your ways and stay in the next room.
The storm comes towards me.
How does my Volpone?
Troubled with noise. I cannot sleep. I dreamt that a strange fury entered now my house, and with the dreadful tempest of her breath did cleave my roof asunder.
Believe me, and I had the most fearful dream, could I remember it.
Out on my face. I've given her the occasion how to torment me. She will tell me hers.
Methought the golden mediocrity.
Oh, if you do love me, no more. I sweat and suffer at the mention of any dream. Feel how I tremble yet.
Alas, good soul, the passion of the heart. Seed pearl were good now, boiled with syrup of apples.
Ah, me, I've ta'en a grasshopper by the wing.
Burnt silk and amber, you have muscatel good in the house.
You will not drink and part?
No, fear not that. I doubt we shall not get some English saffron. Half a dram would serve.
She's in again. Before I feigned diseases, now I have one.
And these applied with a right scarlet cloth.
Another flood of words, a very torrent.
Shall I, sir, make you a poultice? I have a little studied physic, but now I'm more for music, save in the forenoons, an hour or two for painting. I would have a lady indeed to have all letters and arts, be able to discourse, to write, to paint, but principal as Plato holds, your music. And so does wise Pythagoras. I take it is your true rapture, when there is consent in face, in voice, and clothes, and is indeed our sex's chiefest ornament.
The poet, as old in time as Plato, and as knowing, says that your highest female grace is silence.
Which of your poets, Petrarch or Tasso or Dante, Brani, Ariosto, Aretine? I have read them all.
Is everything a cause to my destruction?
I think I have 2 or 3 of them about me. Here's Pasto Fido.
Profess obstinate silence now. That's my best.
All our English writers, I mean such as are happy in the Italian, will deign to steal out of this author mainly, almost as much as from Montaigne. Your Petrarch is more passionate, Dante is hard, and few can understand him. But for a desperate wit, there's Aretine, only his pictures are a little obscene. You mark me not?
Ah, alas, my mind is perturbed.
Why, in such cases, we must cure ourselves, make use of our philosophy.
Oh, me.
And as we find our passions do rebel and counter them with reason or divert them by giving scope into some other humour of lesser danger as in politic bodies, there is nothing more doth overwhelm the judgment and cloud the understanding than too much settling and fixing, and as 'twere subsided upon one object. For the incorporating of these same outward things into that part which we call mental, leaves some certain vices that stop the organ, and as Plato says, assassinate our knowledge.
Now the spirit of patience, help me.
Come, in faith, I must visit you more days and make you well, laugh and be lusty.
My good angel, please save me.
There was but one sole man in all the world with whom my heir could sympathise, and he would lie you often 3-4 hours together to hear me speak, and be sometimes so rapt as he would answer me quite from the purpose, like you, and you are like him, just. Our discourse and be but only, sir, to bring you asleep. How we did spend our time and loves together for some 6 years.
Oh, some power, some fate, some fortune, rescue me!
God save you, madam!
Good sir.
Mosca! Oh, welcome to my redemption.
Why, sir?
Oh, rid me of this, my torture, quickly, there! My madam with the everlasting voice. Oh, for hell's sake, rid her hence.
Has she presented?
Oh, I do not care. I'll take her absence upon any price, with any loss.
Madam!
I have brought your patron a toy, a cap here of mine own work.
'Tis well. I had forgot to tell you, I saw your night, where you would little think it.
Where?
Marry, where yet, if you make haste, you may apprehend rowing upon the water in a gondola with the most cunning courtesan of Venice.
It's true.
Pursue them and believe your eyes. Leave me to make your gift. I knew 'twould take.
Oh, Mosca, hearty thanks for thy quick fiction and delivery of me. Now, to my hopes. What sayest thou?
You?
Oh, again?
But do you hear, sir?
I fear a paroxysm.
Which way rode they together?
Toward the Rialto! Corbaccio will arrive straight with the will. When he is gone, I'll tell you more.
Oh, my blood, my spirits are returned, and I am alive.
Sir, here concealed, you may hear all, but pray you, have patience, sir. The same's your father's knocks. I am compelled to leave you.
Do so, yet cannot my thought imagine this a truth.
Death on me, you are come too soon. What meant you? Did not I say I would send?
Yes, but I feared you might forget it, and then they'd prevent us.
Prevent? Well, now there's no helping it. Stay here. I'll presently return.
Where are you, Celia? You know not wherefore I brought you hither.
Not well, except you told me.
Now I will. Hark hither.
Sir, your father has sent word it will be half an hour ere he come, and therefore, if you please to walk the while into that gallery, at the upper end there are some books to entertain the time, and I'll take care no man shall come unto you, sir.
Yes, I will stay there. I do doubt this fellow.
Whew, there. He's far enough, he can hear nothing, and for his father, I can keep him off.
Nay, now there's no starting back, and therefore resolve upon it. I have so decreed. It must be done.
Sir, let me beseech you, affect not these strange trials. If you doubt my chastity, why lock me up forever? Make me the heir of darkness. Let me live where I may please your fears, if not your trust.
Believe it, I have no such humour, I. All that I speak are mean, and yet I'm not mad, nor horn mad, you see. Go to, show yourself obedient and a wife.
Oh, heaven!
I say it. Do so.
Was this the train?
I've told you reasons, what the physicians have set down, how much it may concern me, what my engagements are, my means, and the necessity of those means for my recovery. Wherefore, if you be loyal and mine be one, respect my venture.
Before your honour?
Honour? A breath. There's no such thing in nature, a mere term invented to awe fools. What is my gold the worse for touching, clothes for being looked on? Why, this is no more an old decrepit wretch that has no sense, no sinew, a voice, a shudder. And what can this man hurt you?
Lord, what spirit is this hath entered him?
And for your fame, well, there's such a jig, as if I would go tell it. What, cry it on the piazza? Who shall know it but he that cannot speak it, and this fellow whose lips are in my pocket?
Oh, heaven and saints, they're nothing. Will they be blind or stupid?
How?
Good sir, be jealous still, emulate them, and think what hate they burn with toward every sin.
I'll grant you, if I thought it were a sin, I would not urge you, but here 'tis contrary, a pious work, mere charity for physic, and honest polity to assure mine own.
Oh, heaven! Canst thou suffer such a change?
Please you draw near, sir.
Come on. What? You will not be rebellious by that light.
Sir, Signor Corvino, hearing of the consultation had so lately for your health, is come to offer, or rather, sir, to prostitute.
Thanks, sweet Mosca.
Freely unasked or unentreated.
Well?
As the true fervent instance of his love, his own most fair and proper wife, the beauty only of price in Venice.
'Tis well urged.
To be your comfortress and to preserve you.
Alas, I am past already. Pray you, thank him for his good care and promptness. But for that, it is a vain labour e'en to fight against heaven. Making a dead leaf grow again. I take his wishes gently, though, and you may tell him what I have done for him.
Do you hear, sir? Go to him with your wife.
Heart of my father, will you persist thus? Come, I pray thee, come. Thou seest 'tis nothing, Celia. By this hand I shall grow violent. Come, do it, I say.
Sir, kill me, rather. I will take down poison, eat burning coals, do anything.
Be damned. Heart, I'll drag thee hence home by the hair, cry thee strumpet through the streets, rip up thy mouth and to thine ears, and slit thy nose, and at my window hang you forth. Now, by the blood thou hast incensed, I'll do it.
So what you please you may. I am your martyr.
Be not thus obstinate. I have not deserved it. Think who it is entreats you. Prithee, sweet, good faith, thou shalt have jewels, gowns, attires, what thou wilt think and ask. Do but just kiss him or touch him. But for my sake, at my suit, this once, no, not. I shall remember this. Will you disgrace me thus? Do you thirst for my undoing?
May gentle lady be advised.
No, whore, crocodile, that has thy tears prepared, expecting how thou bid them flow.
Nay, pray you, sir, she will consider.
Would would my life would serve to satisfy.
Death, if she would but speak to him and save my reputation, it were somewhat, but spitefully to effect my utter ruin.
Why, if faith it is her modesty, I must quit her. If you were absent, she would be more coming, I know it, and dare undertake for her. What woman can before her husband? Pray you, let us depart and leave her here.
Sweet Celia, thou mayest redeem all yet. I'll say no more. If not, esteem yourself as lost. Nay, stay there!
Oh, God and his good angels! Whither is shame fled, human breasts? That with such ease men dare put off your honours and their own, is that whichever was a cause of life now placed beneath the basest circumstance, and modesty and exile made for money.
Aye, in Corvino, and such earth-fed minds that never tasted the true heaven of love. Assure thee, Celia, he that would sell thee only for hope of gain, and that uncertain, he would have sold his part of paradise for ready money had he met a coatman. Why art thou mazed to see me thus revived? Rather applaud thy beauty's miracle. 'Tis thy great work that hath, not now alone, but sundry times, raised me in several shapes, and but this morning, like a mountebank, to see thee out of thy window, Scorto da mantua, he returns thy handkerchief.
Sir!
Nay, fly me not, nor let thy false imagination, that I was bedrid, make thee think I am so. Thou shalt not find it. I am now as fresh, as hot, as high, and as in jovial plight as when, in that so celebrated scene, I acted young Antinous, and attracted the eyes and ears of all the ladies present to admire each graceful gesture, note, and footing. Come, my Celia, let us prove, while we can, the sports of love.
Some serene blasphemy or dire lightning strike this my offending face.
Why droops, my Celia? Thou hast, in place of a base husband, found a worthy lover. Use thy fortune well, with secrecy and pleasure. See, behold, what thou art queen of, not in expectation as I feed others, but possessed and crowned. See here, a rope of pearl, a diamond. Take these and wear, and lose them.
Good sir, these things might move a mind affected with such delights. But I, whose innocence is all I can think wealthy or worth enjoying, and which, once lost, I have naught to lose beyond it, cannot be taken with these sensual baits. If you have conscience...
'Tis the beggar's virtue. If thou hast wisdom, Celia, hear me. Thy baths shall be the milk of unicorns. Our drink shall be prepared gold and amber, which we will take until my roof whirl round with the vertigo, and my dwarf shall dance, and my eunuch sing, my fool make up the antic, whilst we in changed shapes act Ovid's tales. And I will meet thee in as many shapes, where we may so transfuse our wandering souls out at our lips, and chord up sums of pleasure.
If you have ears that will be pierced, or eyes that can be opened, a heart that may be touched, or any part that yet sounds man about you, if you have touch of holy saints or heaven, do me the grace to let me scape. If not, be bountiful and kill me. You do know I am a creature hither ill betrayed by one whose shame I would forget it were. If you will deign me neither of these graces, yet feed your wrath, sir, rather than your lust. It is a vice comes nearer manliness, and punish that unhappy crime of nature which you miscall my beauty. Flay my face, or poison it with ointments, for seducing your blood to this rebellion. Rub these hands with what may cause an eating leprosy into my bones and marrow, anything that may disfavour me, save in my honour. And I will kneel to you, pray for you, pay down 1,000 hourly vows, sir, for your health, report, and think you virtuous.
Think me cold, frozen, and impotent, and so report me? I do degenerate and abuse my nation to play with opportunity thus long. I should have done the act, and then have parleyed. Yield, or I'll force thee.
Oh, just...
In vain, you cry aloud!
Bear, foul ravager! Libidinous swine! Free the false lady, or thou diest, impostor! But that I'm loath to snatch thy punishment out of the hand of justice, thou shouldst yet be made the timely sacrifice of vengeance before this altar and this dross thy idol. Lady, let's quit the place. It is the den of villainy. Fear not, you have a guard, and he ere long shall meet his just reward.
Fall on me, roof, and bury me in ruin. Become my grave that worked my shelter. I am unmasked, unspirited, undone, betrayed to beggary, to infamy.
Oh, where shall I run, most wretched shame of men, to beat out my unlucky brains?
Here. Thou hast made me miserable.
And myself, sir.
What shall we do?
I know not. If my heart could expiate the mischance, I'd pluck it out. Will you please to hang me, or cut my throat, and I'll requite you, sir. Let us die like Romans, since we have lived like Grecians.
Who's there? I hear some footing. Officers! The Sappy! Come to apprehend us! I do feel the brand hissing already at my forehead!
To your couch, sir. You make that place good, however.
See.
Signor Corbaccio!
Why, how now, Mosca?
Oh, undone. Amazed, sir. Your son, I know not by what accident, acquainted with your purpose to my patron, touching your will and making him your heir, entered our house with violence, sought for you, vowed he would kill you.
Me?
Yes, and my patron.
This act shall disinherit him, indeed. Here is the will.
'Tis well, sir.
Right and well. Be you as careful now for me.
Corbaccio and Mosca. I will remain out of sight and overhear their words.
My life, sir, is not more tended. I am only yours.
How does he? Will he die shortly, thinkst thou?
I fear he'll outlast May.
Today?
No! Last out May, sir.
Couldst thou not give him a dram?
Oh, by no means, sir.
Nay, I'll not bid you.
Mosca, you are a knave, I see.
Oh, Signor Voltore! Did he hear me?
Parasite.
Who's that? Oh, sir, most timely welcome.
Scarce to the discovery of your tricks, I fear. You are his only, and mine also, are you not?
Who? I, sir?
You, sir! What device is this about a will?
A plot for you, sir.
Come, put not your foists upon me. I shall send them.
Did you not hear it?
Yes, I hear Corbaccio hath made your patron there his heir.
'Tis true by my device, drawn to it by my plot, with hope.
Your patron should reciprocate. And have you promised?
For your good I did, sir, nay more. I told his son, hid him here, where he might hear his father pass the deed, being persuaded to it by this thought, sir, that the unnaturalness first of the act, and then his father's oft disclaiming in him, which I did mean to help on, would sore enrage him to do some violence upon his parent, on which the lordship takes officiate hold, and you be stated in a double hope. Truth be my comfort and my conscience, my only aim was to dig you a fortune out of these two rotten old sepulchres.
I cry thee mercy, Mosca.
Worth your patience and your great merit, sir, and see the change.
Why, what success?
Most hapless. You must help, sir. Whilst we expected the old raven, in comes Corvino's wife, sent hither by her husband.
What, with a present?
No, sir, on visitation, I'll tell you how anon, and staying long, the youth he grows impatient, rushes forth, seizeth the lady, wounds me, makes her swear, or he would murder her, that was his vow, to affirm my patron to have done her rape, which how unlike it is, you see. And hence, with that pretext, he's gone to accuse his father, defame my patron, defeat you.
Where is her husband? Let him be sent for straight.
Sir, I'll go fetch him.
But this must be stopped.
Oh, you do nobly, sir. Alas, 'twas laboured all, sir, for your good, nor was there want of counsel in the plot, but fortune can, at any time, o'erthrow the projects of 100 learned clerks, sir.
What's that?
Wilt please you, sir, to go along?
Patron, go in and pray for our success.
Need makes devotion. Heaven your labour bless!
I told you, sir, it was a plot, you see. What observation is? You mentioned me for some instructions. Now, I will tell you, Sam, since we are met here in this height of Venice, some few particulars I have set down, only for this meridian, fit to be known of your crude traveller, and they are these. First, your garb. It must be grave and serious, very reserved and locked. Make sure choice both of your company and discourse. Beware you never speak a truth.
How?
Not to strangers, for those be they you must converse with most. Others I would not know, sir, but at a distance. And then for your religion, profess none, but wonder at the diversity of all. And for your part, protest were there no other, but simply the laws of the land, you would content you. Then must you learn the use and handling of your silver fork at meals, the metal of your glass, these are main matters with your Italian, and to know the hour when you must eat your melons and your figs. For your Venetian, if he see a man preposterous in the least, he has him straight, he has him. He strips him. I'll acquaint you, sir. I now have lived here till it is some 14 months. Within the first week of my landing here, all took me for a citizen of Venice. I knew the forms so well.
Nothing else.
Well, if I could find but one man to mine own heart, whom I durst trust, I would...
What, sir?
Make him rich.
Ooh.
Make him a fortune. He should not think again I would command it.
As how?
Now, with certain projects that I have, which I may not discover.
If I had but one to wager with, I would lay odds now. He tells me instantly.
One is, and that I cannot greatly, who knows, to serve the state of Venice with red herrings for 3 years, and at a certain rate from Rotterdam, where I have correspondence. There's a letter sent me from one of the states, and to that purpose. He cannot write his name, but that's his mark.
He's a chandler?
No, a cheesemonger. There are some others too with whom I treat about the same negotiation, and I will undertake it, for 'tis thus. I'll do it with ease, I've cast it all. Your hoy carries but 3 men in her and a boy, and she shall make me 3 returns a year. So, if there comes but 1 of 3, I save. If 2, I can default. But this is now if my main project fail.
Then you have others?
I should be loath to draw the subtle air of such a place without my 1,000 aims. I think I have my notes to show you.
Good sir.
But you shall swear unto me on your gentry not to anticipate.
Aye, sir.
Nor reveal a circumstance. My paper is not with me.
Oh, but you can remember, sir.
My first is concerning tinder boxes. You must know no family is here without its box. My next is how to inquire and be resolved by present demonstration whether a ship newly arrived from Soria or from any suspected part of all the Levant be guilty of the plague, and where they used to lie out 40, 50 days sometimes about the lazaretto for their trial, I'll save that charge and loss unto the merchant, and in an hour clear the doubt.
Indeed, sir.
Or I will lose my labour.
My faith, that's much.
Nay, sir, conceive me. It will cost me in onions some 30 livres.
Which is £1 sterling.
Beside my waterworks. For this I do, sir. First, I bring in your ship twixt 2 brick walls, but those the state shall venture. On the one I strain me a fair tarpauling, and in that I stick my onions, cut in halves. The other is full of loopholes, out at which I thrust the noses of my bellows, and those bellows I keep with waterworks in perpetual motion, which is the easiest matter of 100. Now, sir, your onion, which doth naturally attract the infection, and your bellows blowing the air upon him, will show instantly, by his changed colour, if there be contagion, or else remain as fair as at the first. Well, now it is known, it is nothing.
You are right, sir.
I would I had my note.
Faith, so would I.
I have them not about me.
That I feared. They are there, sir.
No, this is my diary, wherein I note my actions of the day.
Pray you, let's see, sir. What is here? No tandem. A rat has gnawed my spur leathers, notwithstanding. I put on new and did go forth, but first I threw 3 beans over the threshold. Item, I went and bought 2 toothpicks. By the way, I cheapened sprats, and at St. Mark's I urine. Faith, these are politic notes.
Sir, I do slip no action of my life, but thus I quote it.
Believe me, 'tis wise.
Nay, sir, read forth.
Sames the party in man's apparel.
My lady!
Where?
'Tis she indeed, sir. You shall know her. She is, were she not mine, a lady of that merit for fashion and behaviour, and for beauty I durst compare.
It seems you are not jealous that dare commend her?
Nay, and for discourse.
Being your wife, she cannot miss that.
Madam, here is a gentleman. Pray you, use him fairly, or he seems a youth, but he is.
None.
Yes, one. Has put his face as soon into the world as...
Why, in this habit, sir, you apprehend me. Well, Master Woodby, this doth not become you. I had thought the odour, sir, of your good name had been more precious to you, but knights, I see, care little for the oath they make to ladies, chiefly their own ladies.
Now, by my spurs, the symbol of my knighthood.
Lord, how his brain is humbled for an oath.
I reach you not.
Right, sir, your policy may bear it through thus. Sir, a word with you. I would loathe to contest publicly with any gentlewoman, or to seem froward or violent, as the courtier says. It comes too near rusticity in a lady, which I would shun by all means, and however I may deserve from Master Woodby, yet to have one fair gentlewoman thus be made the unkind instrument to wrong another.
What is this?
Sweet madam, come nearer to your aim.
Marry, and will, sir, since you provoke me with your impudence and laughter of your light land siren here.
The gentleman, believe it, is of worth and of our nation.
Come, I blush for you, master would-be I, and am ashamed you should have no more forehead than thus to be the patron or St. George to a female devil in a male outside.
Nay, and you be such a one. Oh, I must bid adieu to your delights. The case appears too liquid.
Aye, you may carry it clear with your state face, but for your carnival concupiscence, here will I discipline.
This is fine, I faith. Do you use this often? Is this part of your wits exercise, against you have occasion? Madam?
Go to, sir. This cannot be endured by any patience.
Oh, what is the matter, madam?
If the Senate write not my quest in this, I'll protest to all the world, no aristocracy.
What is the injury, lady?
Why, the callet you told me of, here I have taken disguised.
Who? This? What means, your ladyship? The creature I mentioned to you is apprehended now before the Senate. You shall see her.
Where?
I'll bring you to her. This young gentleman, I saw him land this morning at the port.
Is it possible? How has my judgment wandered? Sir, I must blushing say to you, I have erred and plead your pardon.
What? More changes yet?
I hope you have not the malice to remember a gentlewoman's passion. If you stay in Venice here, please you to use me, sir.
Will you go, madam?
Pray you, sir, use me. In faith, the more you see me, the more I shall conceive you have forgot our quarrel.
This is rare. Sir Politic would be, no, Sir Politic bored, to bring me thus acquainted with his wife. Well, wise Sir Pol, since you have practised thus upon my freshmanship, I'll try your salthead, what proof it is against a counterplot. And now follows a 10-minute interval. Please swat away the flies, top up your wine, and we'll see you in 10 minutes.
Well, now you know the carriage of the business. Let us enter the Senate House. Your constancy is all that is required unto the safety of it.
Is the lie safely conveyed amongst us? Is that sure? Knows every man his burden?
Yes,
Then shrink not.
but knows the advocate the truth?
Oh, sir, by no means. I devised a formal tale that salved your reputation. But be valiant, sir.
I fear no one but him that this his pleading should make him stand for co-heir.
Co-halter? Hang him. We will but use his tongue, his noise, as we do croakers here.
Aye, what shall he do?
When we have done, you mean?
Yeah,
Why, we'll think. Sell him for mummia, he's half dust already. Signor Voltore, do not you smile to see this buffalo, how he does sport it with his head? Signor Corbaccio, sir, only you are he that shall enjoy the crop of all, and these not know for whom they toil.
Aye, peace.
But you shall eat it, Signor Corvino. March. Worshipful Signor Voltore, Mercury sit upon your thundering tongue, or the French Hercules, and make your language as conquering as his club, to beat along as with a tempest flat our adversaries, but much more yours, sir.
Have done. Here come the Lady Avocatore and the guilty couple, Bonario and Celia.
I have another witness if you need, sir. I can produce.
Who is it?
I have her.
The like of this the Senate never heard of. 'Twill come most strange to them when we report it. The gentlewoman, Celia, has been ever held of unreproved name. So has the youth, Benario. The more unnatural part that of his father, Signor Corbaccio. More of the husband, Corvino. I not know to give his act a name, it is so monstrous. But the impostor, Signor Volpone, he's a thing created to exceed example. I never heard a true voluptuary described but him. Appear yet those were cited?
All but the old Magnifico Volpone.
Why is not he here?
Please your ladyship, here is his advocate, himself so weak, so feeble.
What are you?
His parasite, his knave, his pander. I beseech the court he may be forced to come, that your grave eyes may bear strong witness of his strange impostures.
Upon my faith and credit with your virtues, he is not able to endure the air.
Bring him here, however. We will see him. Fetch him.
Your ladyship, fit pleasures be obeyed. But sure, the sight will rather move your pities than indignation. May it please the court, in the meantime, he may be heard in me. I know this place most void of prejudice, and therefore crave it, since we have no reason to fear our truth should hurt our cause.
Speak free.
Then know, most honoured lady, I must now discover to your strangely abused ears the most prodigious and most frontless piece of solid impudence and treachery that ever vicious nature yet brought forth to shame the state of Venice. This lewd woman, the Lady Celia, that wants no artificial looks or tears to help the visor she has now put on, hath long been known a close adulteress to Benario, that lascivious youth there, not suspected, I say, but known, and taken in the act with him, and by this man, the easy husband, pardoned, whose timeless bounty makes him now stand here, the most unhappy, innocent person that ever man's own goodness made accused. I pray your ladyship to observe the malice, yea, the rage of creatures discovered in their evils, and what heart such take even from their crimes. But that anon will more appear. This gentleman, Signor Corbaccio, the father, hearing of this foul act with many others, which daily struck at his too tender ears, and grieved in nothing more than that he could not preserve himself a parent, his son's ills growing to that strange flood, at last decreed to disinherit him.
These be strange terms. Benario's fame was ever fair and honest.
So much more full of danger is his vice, that can beguile so under shade of virtue. But, as I said, my honoured sires, his father, having this settled purpose, by what means to Benario betrayed, we know not, and this day appointed for the deed, that parasite, I cannot style him better, by confederacy, preparing this his paramour to be there, entered Volpone's house, who was the man, your ladyship must understand, designed for the inheritance, and there sought his father. But with what purpose sought he him, my lords? It was to murder him. When, being prevented by his most happy absence, what then did he? Not checked his wicked thoughts, no, now new deeds. Mischief doth ever end where it begins. An act of horror, lady. He dragged forth the aged Volpone, that had lain there bedrid 3 years and more, out of his innocent couch, naked upon the floor, there left him, wounded his servant Mosca in the face, and with this strumpet thought at once to stop his father's ends, discredit his free choice in the old gentleman, redeem themselves by laying infamy upon Celia's husband Corvino, to whom, with blushing, they should owe their lives.
What proofs have you of this?
Most honoured father, I humbly crave there be no credit given to this man's mercenary tongue.
Forbear.
His soul moves in his fee.
Oh, sir.
This fellow for 6 souls more would plead against his maker.
You do forget yourself.
Nay, nay, grave lady, let him have scope. Can any man imagine that he will spare his accuser that would not have spared his parent?
Well, produce your proofs.
I wish I could forget I were a creature.
Signor Corbaccio,
What is he?
the father.
Has he had an oath?
Yes, what must I do now?
Your testimony's craved.
Speak to the knave? I'll have my mouth first stopped with earth. My heart abhors his knowledge. I disclaim him.
But for what cause?
A mere portent of nature. He's an utter stranger to my loins.
Father, have they made you to this?
I will not hear thee, monster of man, swine, goat, wolf, parasite. Speak not, thou viper.
Sir, I will sit down and rather wish my innocence should suffer than I resist the authority of a father.
Signor Corvino.
This is strange. Who's this? The husband?
This woman, please your ladyship, is a whore of most hot exercise upon record.
No more!
Neighs like a jennet.
Preserve the honour of the court.
I shall, and modesty of your most reverend ears, and yet I hope that I may say these eyes have seen her glued to that piece of cedar, that fine, well-timbered gallant.
His grief hath made him frantic. Remove him hence. Look to the woman, she is fainting.
Oh, rare! Prettily feigned again.
Stand from about her. Mosca, what can you say?
My wound, may it please your wisdom, speaks for me, received in aid of my good patron when Benario missed his sought-for father, when that well-taught dame had you given her to cry out a rape.
Oh, most late impudence, lady.
Sir, be silent. You had your hearing free, so must they theirs. I do begin to doubt the imposture here. This woman has too many moods.
Grave lady, she is a creature of a most professed and prostituted lewdness.
Most impetuous, unsatisfied grave lady.
May her feignings not take your wisdoms, but this day she baited a stranger, a grave knight with her loose eyes and more lascivious kisses. This man saw them together on the water in a gondola.
Here is the lady herself that saw them too, without, who then had in the open streets pursued them but for saving her knight's honour.
Produce that lady. These things, they strike with wonder.
Be resolute, lady politic.
Aye, this same is she. Out, thou chameleon harlot, darest thou look upon my wronged face? I cry your pardons. I fear I have forgettingly transgressed against the dignity of the court.
No, madam.
And been exorbitant.
You have not, lady. These proofs are strong.
Surely I had no purpose to scandalize your honours or my sexes.
I do believe it.
Surely you may believe it.
Madam, I do.
Indeed you may. My breeding is not so coarse.
I know it.
To offend with pertinency.
Lady.
Such a presence, no, surely.
I well think it.
You may think it.
Let her come. What witnesses have you to make good your report?
Our consciences?
And heaven that never fails the innocent.
These are no testimonies.
Not in your courts where multitude and clamour overcomes.
Nay, then you do wax insolent.
Here is Volpone, testimony testimony comes that will convince and put to utter dumbness their bold tongues. See here, grave lady, here's the ravisher, the rider on men's wives, the great impostor, the grand voluptuary. Do you not think these limbs should affect venery, or these eyes covet a concubine? Pray you mark these hands. Are they not fit to stroke a lady's breasts? Perhaps he doth dissemble?
So he does.
Would you have him tortured?
I would have him proved.
Best tie him with goads then, or burning irons. Oh, my most equal hearers, if these deeds may pass with sufferance, which of you are safe, my honoured lady? I would ask, with leave of your grave ladyship, if their plot have any face or colour like to truth, or if unto the dullest nostril here it smell not rank and most abhorred slander. I crave your care of this good gentleman, whose life is much endangered by their fable. And as for the young gallants, I will conclude with this: damned deeds are done with greatest confidence.
Take Celia and Benario to custody and sever them. 'Tis pity two such prodigies should live. Let the old gentleman be returned with care. I'm sorry our credulity hath wronged him. These are two creatures. You have done a worthy service to the state, Signor Voltore, in their discovery. You shall hear ere night what punishment the court decrees upon them.
We thank your ladyship. Oscar, how like you it?
Rare. I'd have your tongue, sir, tipped with gold for this. They're bound to erect your statue in St. Mark's. Signor Corvino, I would have you go and show yourself that you have conquered.
Yes, true. I do doubt this advocate still.
If faith you need not, I dare ease you of that care.
I trust thee, Mosca.
As your own soul, sir.
Mosca!
Now for your business, sir.
How? Have you business?
Yes, yours, sir.
Oh, none else?
None else, not I.
Be careful then.
Rest you with both your eyes, sir.
Dispatch it.
Simply.
And look that all whatever be put in, jewels, plate, monies, household stuff, bedding, curtains.
Curtain rings, sir. Only the advocate's fee must be deducted.
I'll pay him now. You'll be too prodigal.
Sir, I must tender it.
2 check-ins as well?
No, 6, sir.
'Tis too much.
We talked a great while. You must consider that, sir.
Well, there's 3.
I'll give it him.
Do so. And there's for thee.
You see, sir, how I work unto your ends. Take you no notice.
No, I'll leave you.
All is yours, the devil and all. Good advocate. Madam, I'll bring you home.
No, I'll go see your patron.
That you shall not. I'll tell you why. My purpose is to urge my patron to reform his will, and for the zeal you have shown today, whereas before you were but 3rd or 4th, you shall be now put in the 1st, which would appear as begged if you were present. Therefore,
You shall sway me.
Well, I'm here, and all this brunt is past. I ne'er was in dislike with my disguise till this fled moment. Here 'twas good, in private, but in your public, oh, cave, whilst I breathe. 'Fore God, my left leg began to have the cramp, and I apprehended straight some power had struck me with a dead palsy. Well, I must be merry and shake it off. Many of these fears would put me into some villainous disease should they come thick upon me. I'll prevent 'em. Give me a bowl of lusty wine to fright this humour from my heart, eh? Ah. It is almost gone already. I shall conquer. Any device now of rare ingenious knavery that would possess me with a violent laughter would make me up again. So. This heat is life. Oh, 'tis blood by this time. Mosca!
How now, sir? Does the day look clear again? Are we recovered and wrought out of error into our way to see our path before us? Is our trade free once more?
Exquisite, Mosca!
Carried learnedly.
Oh, and stoutly! Good wits are greatest in extremities.
You are not taken enough with it, methinks.
More than if I'd enjoyed the wench. The pleasure of all womankind's not like it.
Well, now you speak, sir. We must here be fixed. Here we must rest. This is our masterpiece. We cannot think to go beyond this.
True. Thou hast played thy prize, my precious Mosca.
Nay, sir, to gull the corpse.
And quite divert the torrent upon the innocent.
Yes, and to make the rarer music out of discords.
Right. That yet to me's the strangest. How thou hast borne it, that these, being so divided mongst themselves, should not scent somewhat, or in me, or in thee, or doubt their own side.
True, they will not see it. Too much light blinds them, I think. Each of them is so possessed and stuffed with his own hopes that anything unto the contrary, never so true or never so apparent, never so palpable, they will resist it.
Like a temptation of the devil.
Right, sir. Did not your advocate rag?
Oh, my most honoured lady, my grave lady, under correction of your ladyship, what face of truth is here, if these strange deeds may pass, most honoured lady? I had much ado to forbear laughing.
You sweat, sir.
In truth, I did a little.
Confess, sir, were ye not daunted?
Good faith, I was a little in the midst, but not dejected, never, but still myself.
I think it's, I must needs say this for your advocate. He has taken pains in faith, sir, and deserved, well, to be cozened.
Truth, yeah, and I think so too. By that I heard him in the latter end.
Oh, but before, sir, had you heard him first draw it to certain heads, then aggravate, then use his vehement figures, and doing this out of pure love, no hope of gain.
'Tis right. I cannot answer him, Mosca, as I would. Not yet. But for thy sake, at thy entreaty, I will begin, even now, to vex them all, this very instant.
Good sir.
Shall we have a jig now?
Would you please, sir?
Go! Let's straight give out about the streets that I am dead. Impute it to the grief of this late slander.
What do you mean, sir?
Oh, I shall instantly have my vulture, crow, raven come flying hither on the news to peck for carrion, my she-wolf and all, greedy and full of expectation.
And then to have it ravished from their mouths.
'Tis true. I will have thee put on a gown, and take upon thee as thou wert mine heir. Show them a will. Open that chest, and reach forth one of those that has the blanks. I'll straight put in thy name. Aye, when they even gape and find themselves deluded.
Yes.
And and thou shalt use them scurvily. Dispatch! Put on thy gown!
But what, sir, if they ask after the body?
Oh, say it was corrupted.
I'll say it stunk, sir, and was coffined up instantly and sent away.
Anything! What thou wilt. Hold! Here's my will. Get thee pen and ink. Sit as thou wert taking an inventory of parcels. I'll get up behind the curtain on a stool and hearken. Sometime peep over to see how they do look, with what degrees their blood doth leave their faces. Oh! 'Twill afford me a rare meal of laughter.
There's some already.
Oh, go, look!
The vulture, he has the scent.
I'll to my place, thou to thy posture.
I am set.
But, Mosca, you play the artificer now, you torture them rarely.
How now, my Mosca?
Turkey carpets 9.
Taking an inventory, that is well.
2 suits of bedding, tissue.
Where's the will? Let me read that the while. Is Corbaccio come now to trouble us?
The cloth of gold 2 more.
Is it done, Mosca?
Several velvets 8.
I like his care.
Dost thou not hear? This, Signor Corvino. Is the hour come, Mosca?
Aye, now they muster.
What does the advocate here, or this Corbaccio?
What do these here? And now, lady, poetic.
Mosca, is it thread spun?
8 chests of linen.
Ooh, my fine dame would be, too.
Mosca, the will, that I may show it these and rid them hence.
6 chests of diaper, 4 of damask.
Is that the will?
Down beds and bolsters.
Rare. Be busy still. Now they begin to flutter. They never think of me. Look, see, how their swift eyes run over the long deed unto their name.
Mosca, the heir?
What's that?
My advocate is dumb. Oh, look to my merchant. He's heard of some strange storm. A ship is lost. He's faint. My lady will swoon. Old Glazen Eyes have not reached his despair yet.
But Mosca!
2 cabinets.
Is this in earnest?
1 of ebony.
Or do you but delude me?
The other mother of pearl. I am very busy. Good faith, it is a fortune thrown upon me. Item 1 salt of agate, not my seeking.
Ow!
Tomorrow or next day I shall be at leisure to talk with you all.
Is this my large hopes issue?
Sir, I must have a fairer answer.
Madam, marry and shall, pray you, fairly quit my house. Nay, raise no tempest with your looks. Enough. Go home and use the poor Sir Paul your knight well, for I fear I tell some riddles. Go, be melancholy.
Oh, my fine devil.
Mosca, pray you a word.
Lord, will you not take your dispatch hence yet? Why should you stay here? With what thought? What promise? Hear you. Do not you know I know you, an ass, a declared cuckold on good terms. This pearl, you'll say, was yours. Right, this diamond, I'll not deny it, but thank you. Much here else? Go home and be melancholy too, or mad.
Rare Mosca. How his villainy becomes him.
Certain he doth delude all these for me.
Oh, his 4 eyes have found it.
I am cozened, cheated by a parasite slave. Harlot, thou hast dulled me.
Yes, sir. Stop your mouth, or I shall draw the only tooth is left. Are not you he, sir, here, that would have hired me to the poisoning of my patron, sir? And not you he that have today in court professed the disinheriting of your son? Perjured yourself? Go home and die and stink. If you but croak a syllable, all comes out. Go, stink!
Excellent, varlet.
Now, my faithful Mosca, I find thy constancy.
Ah!
Sincere,
A table of porphyry. I marvel you'll be thus troublesome.
Hey, leave off now, they're gone.
Why? Who are you? What? Who did send for you? Oh, cry you mercy, reverend sir. Good faith, I am grieved for you, that any chance of mine should thus defeat your, I must needs say, most deserving travails. But I profess, sir, it was cast upon me, and I could almost wish to be without it, but that the will of the dead must be observed. You that have so much law, I know have the conscience not to be covetous of what is mine. Good sir, I thank you for your plate. 'Twill help to set up a young man. Good faith, you look as you were costive. Best go home and purge.
My witty mischief! Let me embrace thee. Oh, that I could now transform thee into a Venus. Mosca, go! Straight take my habit of Clarissimo and walk the streets. Be seen, torment them more. We must pursue as well as plot. Who would have lost this feast?
I doubt it will lose them.
Oh, my recovery shall recover all. That I could now but think on some disguise to meet them in and ask them questions. How I would vex them still at every turn.
I can fit you.
Canst thou?
Yes. I know one of the commendatories, sir, so like you. Him will I straight make drunk and bring you his habit.
A rare disguise, and answering thy brain. Oh, I will be a sharp disease unto them.
Sir, you must look for curses.
Till they burst. The fox fares ever best when he is cursed.
Am I enough disguised?
I warrant you.
Oh, my ambition is to fright him only.
If you could ship him away, 'twere excellent.
Sir, I must crave your courteous pardon. There hath chanced today unkind disaster twixt my lady and me, and I was penning my apology to give her satisfaction, as you came now.
Sir,
Sir, I am grieved I bring you worse disaster. The gentleman you met at the port today that told you he was newly arrived...
I was a fugitive punk.
No, sir, a spy set on you, and he has made relation to the Senate that you profess to him to have a plot to sell the state of Venice to the Turk.
Oh, me!
For which warrants are signed by this time to apprehend you and to search your study for papers.
Alas, sir, I have none but notes drawn out of playbooks.
All the better, sir.
And some essays. What shall I do?
Sir, best convey yourself into a sugar chest.
Sir, but I talked so for discourse sake merely.
Hark, they are here.
I am a wretch, a wretch.
What will you do, sir? Have you ne'er current butt to leap into? They'll put you on the rack. You must be sudden.
Sir, I have an engine.
Politic would be.
I shall ne'er endure the torture. Marry, it is, sir, of a tortoise shell, fitted for these extremities. Pray you, sir, help me. Here, I've a place, sir, to put my back legs. Please to lay it on, sir. With this cap and my black gloves, I'll lie, sir, like a tortoise, till they are gone.
Call you this an engine?
Mine own device. Good sir, bid my wife's women to burn my papers.
Where's he hid? What are you, sir?
I'm a merchant that came here to look upon this tortoise.
St. Mark, what beast is this?
It is a fish. He creeps, sir.
Let's see him creep.
No good, sir, you will hurt him.
I'll see him creep or I'll prick his guts. Come out here.
Pray you, sir. Creep a little, Sir Paul.
We'll see his legs. Is this your fearful tortoise?
Now, Sir Paul, we are even. For your next project, I shall be prepared. I'm sorry for the funeral of your note, sir. Farewell, most politic tortoise!
Oh, I shall be the fable of all feasts, the freight of the Gazette, shipboy's tale. My lady's come most melancholy home, and says she was straight to sea for physic, and I to shun this place and climb forever, creeping with house on back, and think it well to shrink my poor head in my politic shell.
Mosca, am I like him then?
Oh, sir, you are he. No man can sever you.
Good.
But what am I?
For heaven, a brave clarissimo. Thou becomest it. Pity thou wert not born one.
If I hold my maid one, 'twill be well.
I'll go see what news. First at the court.
Do so. My fox is out of his hole, and ere he shall re-enter, I'll make him languish in his borrowed case, except he come to composition with me. So, now I have the keys, and am possessed. Since he will needs be dead afore his time, I'll bury him, or gain by him. I am his heir, and so will keep me till he share at least. To cozen him of all were but a cheat well placed. No man would construe it a sin. Let his sport pay for it. This is called the fox trap.
Outstripped thus by a parasite, a slave, run on errands and make legs for crumbs. Well, what I'll do... Well, flesh fly, it is summer with you now. Your winter will come on.
Good advocate, prithee not rail, nor threaten out of place. The court stays for your worship.
Are all the parties here? Then bring them forth to sentence.
Oh, my most honoured lady, let your mercy once win upon your justice to forgive. I am distracted.
What will you do now?
Oh, I know not which to address myself to first, whether your ladyship or these innocents, Celia and Benario.
Will he betray himself?
Whom equally I have abused out of most covetous ends.
Oh, the man is mad.
What's that?
He's possessed.
For which, now struck in conscience, here I prostrate myself at your offended feet for pardon.
Arise.
Oh, heaven, how just thou art!
I'm caught in mine own noose.
Signor Corbaccio, be constant, sir. Naught can help but impudence.
Speak forward, Voltore.
It is not passion in me, reverend lady, but only conscience. Conscience, my good sires, that makes me now tell truth. That parasite, that knave, hath been the instrument of all.
Where is that knave? Fetch him, officer.
I go.
Grave lady, Voltore is distracted. He confessed it now, for hoping to be old Volpone's heir, who now is dead.
How? Is Volpone dead?
Dead since, grave lady.
Oh, sure vengeance.
Stay, then he was no deceiver.
Oh no, none. The parasite, grave lady, Mosca.
He does speak out of mere envy, 'cause the servant made the thing he gaped for. Please, your ladyship, this is the truth.
Pleaseth your wisdoms to view these certain notes, but confer them, as I hope favour they shall speak clear truth.
The devil has entered him.
Or bides in you.
Send for him that they call the parasite. He is a man of great estate now left. The court entreats his presence here, but to the clearing of some few doubts. This same's a labyrinth. Signor Corvino, stand you unto your first report?
My state, my life, my fame
Where is it?
are at stake.
Is yours so too, Signor Corbaccio?
He advocates a knave. I disinherit him.
Speak to the point.
So is the parasite too.
This is confusion.
I do beseech your ladyship, read but those.
And credit nothing the false spirit hath writ. It cannot be but he's possessed, grave lady.
To make a snare for my own neck and run my head into it, wilfully, with laughter, when I had newly escaped, was free and clear out of mere wantonness. Oh, the dull devil was in this brain of mine when I devised it, and Mosca gave it second. He must now help to sear up this vein, or we bleed dead.
These things can ne'er be reconciled. He here professeth that Benario was wronged, and that the Lady Celia was brought thither, forced by her husband, and there left.
Most true.
How ready is heaven to those that pray.
But that Volpone would have ravished her, he holds utterly false, knowing his impotence.
Brave lady, he's possessed. Again I say.
Oh, here comes our officer.
The parasite will straight be here, grave lady.
You might invent some other name, Sir Varlet. His coming will clear all.
Let please your ladyship.
Signor Vultore, the parasite willed me to tell you that his master, Volpone, lives, that you are still the man. Your hope's the same, and this was only a jest.
How?
Well, sir, to try if you were firm, and how you stood affected.
Art sure he lives?
Do I live, sir?
Oh, me. I was too violent.
Show him that writing. Do you know it, sir?
Deny it, Voltore, sir. Forswear it. Know it not.
Yes, I do know it well. It is my hand, but all that it contains is false.
Oh, yes.
Is not he guilty, then, whom you there name the parasite?
Grave lady, no more than his good patron, old Volpone.
Why, he is dead.
Oh, no, my honoured lady, he lives.
How? Lives?
Lives!
This is subtler yet. You said he was dead.
Never.
You said so.
Oh, I heard so.
Here comes Signor Mosca. Make him way. A stool. A proper man, and were Volpone dead, a fit match for my daughter.
Mosca, I was almost lost. The advocate had betrayed all, but now it is recovered. All's on a hinge again. Say I'm living.
Oh, what busy knave is this? Most reverend lady, I sooner had attended your grave pleasures, but that my order for the funeral of my dear patron did require me.
Mosca!
Whom I intend to bury like a gentleman.
Aye, he'll bury me alive and cousin me of all.
Stranger still, more intricate.
Patron, will you give me half?
I'll be hanged first.
I know. Your voice is good, cry not so loud.
Officer, did not you affirm Volpone was alive?
Oh, yes, and he is. This gentleman told me so. Thou shalt have half.
Whose drunkard is this here same? Speak, some that know him, I never saw his face. I cannot now, patron, afford it you so cheap.
No.
What say you?
The officer told me.
Yeah, I did, grave lady, and will maintain he lives with my own life, and that this creature here, Mosca, told me. I was born with all good stars my enemies.
Most grave lady, if such an insolence as this must pass upon me, I am silent. 'Twas not this for which you sent, I hope.
Take the officer away.
Mosca!
Let him be whipped.
Wilt thou betray me? Cousin me?
And taught to bear himself toward a person of his rank. Away!
I humbly thank your ladyship.
Soft! Whipped! And lose all that I have? If I confess, it cannot be much more.
Signor Mosca, are you married?
They will be allied anon. I must be resolute. The fox shall hear on case. Echo!
Oh.
Nay! Now, my ruins are not come alone. Mosca, your match I'll hinder sure. My substance shall not glue you, nor screw you into a family.
My patron!
I am Volpone, and this, Mosca, is my knave. This is Signor Voltore, who's his own knave. This, Corbaccio, avarice's fool. This, Corvino, a chimera of victual, fool, and knave. And, Reverend Lady, since we all can hope naught but a sentence, let's not now despair it. You hear me? Brief.
May it please your ladyship.
The knot is now undone by miracle. Nothing can be more clear, or can more prove Benario and Celia innocent. Give them their liberty.
Heaven could not long let such gross crimes be hid.
If this be held the highway to get riches, may I be poor. This is not the gain, but torment. These possess wealth as sick men possess fevers, which trulier may be said to possess them. Disrobe that parasite.
Most honoured lady!
Can you plead aught to stay the course of justice? If you can, speak.
We beg favour.
And mercy.
You hurt your innocence, Lady Celia, suing for the guilty. Stand forth. And first, the parasite. You appear to have been the chiefest minster, if not plotter, in all these lewd impostures. And now, lastly, have with your impudence abused the court and habit of a gentleman of Venice. Being a fellow of no birth or blood, for which our sentence is, first thou be whipped, then live perpetual prisoner in our galleys.
I thank you for him.
Bane to thy wolfish nature!
Ooh.
Thou, Volpone, by blood and rank a gentleman, canst not fall under like censure, but our judgment on thee is that thy substance all be straight confiscate to the hospital of the incurably.
Oh.
And, since the most was gotten by imposture, by feigning lame, gout, palsy, and such diseases, thou art to lie in prison, cramped with irons, till thou beest sick and lame indeed. Remove him.
And this is called mortifying of a fox.
Thou, Voltore, to take away the scandal thou hast given all worthy men of thy profession, art banished from their fellowship and our state. Corbaccio, bring him near. We here possess thy son of all thy state, and confine thee to the monastery of San Spirito, where, since thou knewest not how to live well here, thou shalt be learnt to die well.
Ah, what said she?
Thou, Corvino, shalt be straight embarked from thine own house, and rode round about Venice through the Grand Canal, wearing a cap with long ass's ears instead of horns.
Yes.
And, to expiate thy wrongs done to thy wife, thou art to send her home to her father with her dowry trebled. And these are all your judgments.
Honoured lady!
Which may not be revoked. Now you begin, when crimes are done and past and to be punished, to think what your crimes are. Away with them. Let all that see these vices thus rewarded take heart and love to study 'em. Mischiefs feed like beasts till they be fat, and then they bleed.
The seasoning of a play is the applause. Now, though the fox be punished by the laws, he yet doth hope there is no suffering due for any fact which he hath done against you. If there be, censure him, here he doubtful stands. If not, fare jovially, and clap your hands.
You have been listening to the Scena Mundi Theatre Company presentation of Volpone by Ben Jonson, a part of the Plays to Listen To series. Starring Rupert Bates, Fraser Wilson, Martin Press, Jack Christie, David Keogh, Faye Morn, Isaac Deaton, Claire Price, Anna Buckhead with Graham Padley as Volpone and Pip Pringle as Mosca.
Thank you. All right, thank you.
Philippe Martinez, directed by Cecilia Dolan.